World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day, I am Peñano with today's World News in 5. 4 people were injured in a stabbing incident near a shopping mall in Tampere, Finland on Thursday. Police have arrested one suspect and confirmed that the situation is now under control. Authorities say there is no indication that the attack was motivated by terrorism or racism. The suspect's identity has not been officially released, but local media report he is a Finnish man in his 20s. The attack temporarily brought traffic to a halt in Tampere's city center, around 180 kilometers north of Helsinki. Witnesses told local outlets they saw bystanders giving first aid to victims before emergency services arrived. This is the latest in a string of violent incidents in Finland. In May, 3 students were hurt in a school attack in the south, while last year a 12-year-old fatality shot a classmate and wounded 2 others in Vantaa, reportedly due to bullying. In our news, the United States has imposed fresh sanctions targeting a smuggling network accused of disguising Iranian oil as Iraqi and a Hezbollah-linked financial institution, the U.S. Treasury Department announced Thursday. At the center of the sanctions is Salim Ahmed Saeed, an Iraqi-British national allegedly running a network of companies that has moved billions of dollars worth of Iranian oil since 2020. The oil was reportedly blended or mislabeled as Iraqi and sold to Western buyers through falsified documents. Among those sanctioned is UAE-based VS tankers, which the Treasury says secretly smuggled oil on behalf of Iran's government and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. VS Tankers has denied the allegations and vowed legal action. Several vessels involved in covert oil deliveries were also blacklisted in a bid to clamp down on Iran's so-called shadow fleet. The move follows recent U.S. airstrikes on Iranian nuclear sites, which officials say have delayed Iran's nuclear program by up to 2 years. Talks between the U.S. and Iran on the nuclear issue are reportedly set to take place next week in Oslo. In a separate action, the U.S. also sanctioned senior officials linked to Hezbollah's financial arm Al-Qard al-Hassan for conducting transactions that benefited the militant group while masking its involvement. Russia has become the first country to officially recognize the Taliban-led government of Afghanistan after accepting the credentials of a new Afghan ambassador on Thursday. In a statement, Russia's foreign ministry expressed hope that formal recognition would strengthen bilateral cooperation, especially in security, counter-terrorism, and the fight against drug trafficking. Afghanistan's Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi welcomed the move, calling it a courageous step and hoping other countries would follow suit. No other nation has formally recognized the Taliban since it took power in August 2021 following the chaotic withdrawal of U.S. forces. However, several countries including China, the UAE, Uzbekistan, and Pakistan have appointed ambassadors to Kabul. The Russian move is a milestone for the Taliban, which remains largely isolated internationally. The United States has frozen billions in Afghan central bank assets and maintains sanctions on top Taliban leaders. Russia's ties with the Taliban have warmed in recent years. The group was previously banned as a terrorist organization in Russia, but designation was lifted in April. Moscow sees the Taliban as a partner in combating Islamist militancy, especially after the deadly ISIS-K attack in Moscow earlier this year. However, Western governments continue to withhold formal recognition, citing the Taliban's restrictions on women's rights, including bans on girls' education and limits on women's public movement. And And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, I am Win Peñano. Good day.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.